Okay, so this video is about ways to symbolize raster data with an example from Capitol Reef Field Station near Pleasant uh, Creek, which is going to be related to Lab 3 for Advanced GIS in spring 2024. I'll give a couple of examples here of visualizing these DEMs in a dynamic way, and then also step you through some of the processes for creating stream networks using hydrology tools in a small subset of the data, so it'll go relatively fast. So you can see that I've downloaded a hillshade, well, a digital elevation model, and from that I've made a hillshade of the area. Um, One thing, right, we've talked about already is that it's kind of nice to um, do like an overlay with the hillshade model and the elevation data from the DEM, uh, and this is LiDAR data, to do what's called a shaded relief map. And so the way to do that, right, is you go to the raster layer and you make the hillshade somewhat transparent. I'll do 50% in this case. And then we can see the shading of the DEM in the background. But I'm going to change that color um, to kind of like Esri's elevation preferred color there. And then percent clip is an option. You can choose different ways to stretch that. So that's great. And what I want to highlight for you right away is that say you are interested in just looking at a lower relief part of the landscape, like this is a great stretch to see this whole region, right? Because we have these cliffs down to these river bottoms here, and we can see U-View's field station here on this river terrace, which has been cut out by another river adjoining Pleasant Creek. But if you were interested in just down here at the river terrace and you wanted to maybe see some more detail in the digital elevation model without the help of the hillshade, check this out. So instead of doing your statistics from the whole data set, you can do a dynamic range adjustment to the current display extent. So I'm going to click that and look at the details that pop out in this low river terrace here. Now, if I scroll away, it's going to adjust this, right? Dynamically adjusting it to what you're seeing. But if you really want to see some of the details that are popping out in this low relief environment and see what's going on in terms of morphology of the lower river network, this dynamic range adjustment can be quite helpful. There are other ways to do this and keep it somewhat static as well. So if I backed up and I wanted a bigger, broader area, but I wanted to focus in on the lower topography, that's also possible. So you could adjust things by like, okay, how many standard deviations am I going to focus in on? Let's see how that does. So I got 1. What if I went to 8? Okay, so that pushes things kind of wider. So that's not maybe the most effective. If I go to percent clip, and if I clip off of the top of the landscape a lot, say I clip off 50% from the top, then it shoots all the detail down from this range of colors into the lower topography that I'm showing here. And so that would be a way to do this just to focus on the river valleys and not worry about the cliffs. On the other hand, if I was only interested in the hill slopes up above the river valleys, I could do the opposite. So I could go 0% up there and then clip off the lower, say 40%. And then we see the details of the higher topography. So this is a great way to adjust things. You can also do a custom display where you, I believe, we can then go and we can say we're only interested in from like 1777 to 1800, or no, like say 1900. And then that would be another way to focus in on where the data is stretched by. And so there's a lot of, you know, different sorts of ways to tease out what you're showing in the stretched data here of the rasters. And so, yeah, mingling that with the hillshade's really powerful, right, in terms of seeing the landscape. But when we've done this stretch and remove the hillshade, we still see quite a bit. And I could tune this even more, 1850, and then boom, look at all the detail that we can see down in here in this lower stretch of the river. We can sense the floods that have passed through here through time. So I just wanted to show you this, both the custom stretching on the whole data set and then the dynamic range option where we're just stretching over the area that we're looking at. Okay, so dynamic range is one option, custom, and then adjusting things that way is another. Okay, so that was for visualization. And so I guess I'll stop this video here and then I'll make another one to go through hydrology tools.